Cuba, patria y viva.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version. All right, Polly, let's go.
Polly here on the Latino Slant. We wouldn't be much of a Latino Slant if we did not cover the events happening on the island of Cuba. And while we don't pretend to be a hub or an expert on political and social news that is out there, I thought it's very important for us to get a little coverage and maybe even some continued coverage on this humanitarian and important event happening. So what I've done is compiled a few celebrities who you might know, some names you might know, might even be fans of. And to see this past week, as of to date of this video, it is the 18th of July. And it seems that every day there is a new event update happening on the island. As of today, some food and medical bans were lifted for the Cuban people from their own government. That is from my reading. But what I want to do is spotlight just 3 celebrities. There are many more that have been speaking out in basic support and then in some cases very strong support of the Cuban people. So let's start off with one of our favorite actors in the fandom, Oscar Isaacs, who's going to be coming up in the new film Dune. This is from his Facebook page. Now, he is half Guatemalan, half Cuban, I believe, and he was raised in Miami. So here's what he has to say. I was raised in Miami. I am the son of a Cuban father who left the island in 1959 along with his mother and 2 brothers. My grandfather stayed, worked as a historian for the Castro government, became disillusioned with it, and escaped on the Mariel boat lift. Wow, that right there is a story right there, which I did not know myself. Incredible that and we're hearing all these stories of families and 2nd, 3rd generation Cuban Americans in who stayed, who went, how they escaped, how they left. And let's continue. My grandfather stayed. We read that. I stand with the Cuban people, making their voices heard no matter the cost, that enough is enough. I also point out, as an American citizen, that in my opinion, the U.S. embargo has only added to the Cuban people's suffering regardless of its strategic intentions. I find it absurdly hypocritical, particularly in regards to our trade with China. Interesting. Another communist country. I've never been one for ideological extremes. I think it's okay and wise to hold conflicting truths in both hands to find the nuance of reality. Yeah, nicely said, Oscar. Regardless, I stand with all those throughout Latin America seeking peace and prosperity for their homelands. Hashtag que viva Latino America. And yeah, that is Oscar Isaac on his official page that he put up July 16th, 10 a.m. on Facebook. Interesting, because he lays out his family, his personal family history, and how they were separated at first, and then he goes into his thoughts on as far as being an American citizen and the U.S. embargoment of Cuba and its history, and kind of wraps it up with his own personal beliefs that, you know, he's not into ideological extremes. You can hold conflicting truths at the same time, which I tend to that's how I tend to flow as well, and we do tend to, kind of conflict with our own beliefs every day, and every day is, and I think as long as we're checking in our agendas and seeing, how we can improve on our positions. Yeah, I'm with it. So that's Oscar Isaac, and as you know, he's a huge actor and has a wonderful career. And those are his thoughts on what's happening in Cuba. Now, I want to go to Bounding into Comics article on Andy Garcia, and Andy is Cuban American, Cuban, but yeah, I think he left when he was a very young man. And Bounding came on to this article July 16th, a couple days ago, from Bounding into Comics. Actor Andy Garcia shows his support for Cuba, expressing that 62 years of tyranny and repression must end. And I'm going to move along to his post here from Instagram. So you're seeing that these celebrities, in all aspects, and there's also we're just covering three different actors, but there's sports, male and female, speaking out against this, and most of them are Cuban. Then you have all these people who aren't Cuban as well, speaking out and giving their opinions on Cuba. So from Bounding into Comics, in a post shared to his personal Instagram account on July 12th, the renowned actor wrote, 62 years of tyranny and oppression and repression must end. We stand with our Cuban brothers fighting for their most basic human rights. Liberty from the Castro regime is upon us. Let the fight be fueled by truth, compassion, and the absolute right of every human to be free. Viva Cuba Libre, wrote Garcia in conclusion to his post, whilst making the use of the hashtag SOS Cuba that has been trending since the protests began. And there is this post. And I think it's interesting here is Andy's going straight to it, calling the Cuban government, the Castro government, a Castro regime. So that is, and I get where Oscar was coming from, because at the time, his relative was working as an historian for the government, became disillusioned. But here, Andy is just cutting straight to the chase. And this is from a interview in Variety from 2013 that Bound into Comics found this great quote. The political situation in Cuba has not turned. There is one government, a dictatorship. The Castros are still in power. There's never been a popular election in Cuba. Nothing will change in Cuba until the Castro regime leaves and the people are free. And it further goes along to show you that Andy posted this image, and I want to make clear, this person was not physically beaten up at any protest. She is a makeup artist who did this to herself. This is an artistic interpretation of how this person felt, and Andy reposted it, which I think is great. Free the people of Cuba, the actor wrote alongside a photo of a brutally beaten woman whose face was painted with the Cuban flag and the hashtags Martin Luther King and SOS Cuba. 62 years of repression and crimes against humanity. So I just wanted to correct that from Bounding into Comics, that this is not a photo of a brutally beaten woman. This is a photo of a Cuban American in Miami who is a makeup artist who did this as an artistic, rendering. That's the information I got. And actually, it's on her her personal Instagram as well. But the point is, she is making herself a living example of what is being done in Cuba, because this is being done to the Cuban people right now, from their own government, the Cuban Castro government. It's on videos. They're pretty drastic. They're pretty intense. We probably will get the video, our video, taken down if I was to even show those to you. So maybe in another platform we'll get those out to you. But it doesn't take all you got to do is a couple of clicks over to on Twitter or on Instagram here, and you get the information for yourself. But this is a really striking image that Andy put up, and I get why this artist did it, and I appreciate it. It definitely stopped me in my tracks. Now, the last one I want to go over is the video that Laz Alonso, the actor from The Boys — everyone is a really big fan of the TV show from Amazon, The Boys. It got like nominated for a whole bunch of Emmys, which is pretty cool. And the actor's name is Laz Alonso. And Laz Alonso is a Cuban American, is a black man, and is very, very outspoken on this issue. And I want to share just a little bit of the video because it's pretty amazing, and it's on his own official Instagram page. And let's bring that up right now. And I just want to play maybe the first couple of seconds of this. We'll get you the link in the description of our own video so you can watch the whole thing, because he lays out a lot of shocking truths of the state of Cuba right now. But let's just get a little bit from Laz here.
Sleep at like 7.
Here we go.
Got up and my DMs were blowing up because of what's up, y'all. So I woke up this afternoon. I worked all night. I went to sleep at like 7 in the morning. Got up and my DMs were blowing up because of a statement that was on the Black Lives Matter Instagram handle regarding Cuba. I was asked to address it, being a black man, born in the United States of America, living as a black man in the US and dealing with everything that black people have to deal with, but also having Cuban heritage, coming from a family who immigrated to the United States to give me opportunities that they did not have under a systemic oppressive systems, oppressive to a point where you cannot believe exists. No First Amendment rights of protest, no freedom of speech, no Second Amendment. No one has any weapons. You can't defend yourself. And if you even think of speaking against the government, even in a whisper, you will get ratted out by your neighbors. Every neighborhood has a government rat.
Wow.
And you will be jailed. Can't even criticize them.
This video is about 11 minutes long. He goes on to talk about many issues facing the Cuban people. It is riveting. I've watched it a half a dozen times by now, and Laz Alonso's on point. And I think it's important too that he even says, you know, look, I'm a black man here in the United States. You know, what I got to deal with, I got to deal with. BLM came out with their statement on Cuba. Here's what's really happening in Cuba. And it is really I challenge you to watch the entire thing when you can. Wow, amazing, absolutely amazing times that we're living in, and I just wanted to give you guys just a small sample of people that are out there that have the platform, that have many supporters, and what they're saying, from Oscar Isaacs to Laz Alonso. There's other sports people, Jorge Masvidal, former sportscaster Alana Rizzo, who is Cuban herself. She put up a beautiful. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up several links to these people, and you check it out. Lastly, I just want to leave you with a couple of seconds, and then we'll go to our closing credits, of a powerful song called Patria y Vida from Yotuel. And Yotuel is a rapper, and he was part of a band called Orishas, who I've been a fan of Orishas for over 20 years. This is a recent song that now has been sung and championed by a lot of the protesters in Cuba and in Miami. It's a beautiful song called Patria y Vida. I just want to we'll just play a little bit of it again, so we don't get zapped, and then we'll go to the closing credits. Please, if you like what you've seen, make sure you are subscribed to the Latino Slant. Comment. I would love your comments on everything you saw in this video. This is a very special video, and we will see you next time. Let's add Yotuel to the screen, and to our Cuban supporters that are supporters of the Latino Slant. If you have familia in Cuba or directly affected by this, my heart goes out to you. And if we can be here as a means of escapism and entertainment, then the Latino Slant serves that purpose, as well as educating and enlightening. But first of all, is entertaining. You guys take care.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The Slant. The Slant. All right, Paul, let's go.